Previously on CarTrek.
So we have a little surprise for you.
Just 9,000 of our dollars bought you this 2007 BMW M6.
This is one of the worst single clutch automated manuals. Also, that engine is one of the most unreliable engines to ever be put in any sort of performance car.
AutoTempest has brought us to this dry lake bed for a series of tests.
Sometimes a little shake can cure what ails you.
4,200 pounds of car.
He's scared of the dust. He chickened out.
Let's try it.
Medium rare is exactly how I like my chicken. What have you done here?
The door has broken. It won't open.
Oh, this is the rest of your life now?
It's not very happy right now. And it's dead.
He killed another one.
AutoTempest told us to gather in the grotto.
So
yes.
I'm guessing
Yes.
tomorrow we'll draw one of each other's keys.
For a true quality test.
After a grueling day in the desert, Ed and Tyler were well rested, while I wasn't. I had been up all night, working on a surprise that they'd never see coming, and sunrise meant it was finally time to tally up everything wrong in each other's cars.
All right. There's a ledge. Oh. Yep. Okay. This is good. Okay.
Colder.
Oh.
Warmer.
Hello.
Good morning.
So AutoTempest told us yesterday that we would meet
That's your
in
face.
yes, that's my face, in the grotto to put our keys into this bowl, and in the morning we would switch out cars to see how broken they really are from another person's point of view. This, I think this is going to be fun. I think we should just
Draw.
yeah.
Okay.
All right. Oh, the comfortable feel of a Mercedes CL. Air conditioning, air-conditioned seats, all the joys.
Wow, just like a normal car.
Just every old day.
I got an Aston.
That's right. The keys only Ford could devise.
Yes, there's a lot of key fobs on here.
And there's a spork on my key.
Hey, you got a pushing to do today.
So I did a little bit of work while you guys were asleep last night, and I didn't want to drive that M6 because I don't like it. But the Maserati is up and running.
It lives?
Yes, it lives.
That's amazing.
It's not
You
on
are the
fire.
warranty.
We'll see.
Let's go drive.
Yeah, let's go drive. This car has a lot of rules I'll explain to you.
Okay.
Just don't break it.
It's already broken.
Just don't break it more.
Okay.
Sounds good.
It runs just as badly as before the incident.
It runs great. It runs maybe a little bit of raw fuel, but that's okay. Have fun.
You could have cleaned your trash out of it at least.
Whew. This thing is sweet. All right, that is an interior from a very long time ago. Let's try to start this up.
All right.
Home sweet home. These are such good cars.
All right, so put the key in and, okay, hold on. Put the key in and, all right, there's like some pre-flight checks here. Put the key in, hold both paddles, and brake.
He might be the warranty, but he sure ain't no instruction manual. It's not that complicated. It just won't start in neutral. So put it in neutral, press the start button.
Now it's in neutral. And now I think I press the engine start and there we go.
Easy, easy, easy. Oh, careful. You can bend the valves on your car, sir, but mine are a little bit more expensive.
Parking brake. Okay, the parking brake's off, but it's telling me that it's still on. That's good. All right.
And we're off. Yeah! Manly noises. This is definitely the best sounding car of the bunch. Okay, problems. Where do I begin? I guess top to bottom, starting with no headliner. We have wiring dangling in the driver's field of view, which is very dangerous, including a phone cord from dial-up internet days. The dash is completely destroyed and a VIN is missing. The oil pressure gauge is reading 0, which I assume isn't working. If it is, that's terrifying. The speakers, well, they're falling out of the car. Door panels destroyed, seats destroyed. The center console, well, they just replaced it with a gymnastics playmat, which is also falling apart. The third brake light, every time I hit the brakes, instead of illuminating the people behind me, it's illuminating the entire cabin because it's just hanging loose back there. I think the clock has been at 1:30 the entire time we've been driving, so that's another thing that doesn't work. That's supposed to be the driver's window. Oh, it just makes violent noises. It's an absolute mess. This is a total hoopty, but like the Millennium Falcon, it's got it where it counts. The engine and transmission, they're great. Oh yeah!
People that drive Maseratis like that are the kind of people that brag about the great deal they got on their wife's breast implants. But a car like this is the kind of car that the doctor that put them in would drive. So I suppose let's total up the things that are wrong. It needs some washer fluid, it needs a couple of vents, it needs this trim piece fixed, the L fell off the back so it's now a C65, the door is broken, the wrap is hideous, but I don't know if we can count that. Somebody broke in and tore the weather stripping on that window. 5, 6, 7 things wrong. That is way below par for an AMG car of this vintage. As much as I would have loved to see Tyler show up with a very highly depreciated Bentley Continental GT, which would have been the appropriate third car relative to a bad Maserati and a bad Aston Martin, I understand why he got this. This is what Tyler does. He may look like some dumb car buyer that just stumbles into the best deal on earth and just doesn't worry about what might happen, but this is a car that he knew he could be confident in, and right now it drives like it did 15 years ago. I don't see how Tyler gets to win this thing when he brought the most normal car of us all. And that's what I struggle with in really accepting this car as a supercar.
It's my first time driving an Aston Martin V12 Vanquish, and this thing runs like garbage. I am floored right now. Okay, we have a flashing check engine light. That seems a little bit concerning on a car that cost $200-something thousand when new. Now in here, all the creature comforts are sort of okay. I mean, you have power windows, door locks, you have a kind of navigation system, you have a tape deck because tapes were relevant back in 2003 when this was made. Now, we're not going to talk about the flappy paddle transmission, because that's been said a billion times over. The things that don't work in this particular car are the AC, and you can see by my sweaty forehead that that is necessary right now. It is like 110 degrees outside, and it's a little toasty in here. The latch for the boot lid does not work, so you can't get into the trunk, which is interesting in a Grand Touring car. You can't actually put luggage in it. You press the sport mode and there's no appreciable difference in this car. But even though it's not the best quality example that you can get for the money today, it really isn't bad. I think Ed did a pretty good job. Now, I will have to tally every little thing that is wrong in this car, but for now, I'm just gonna enjoy this car while I still can. Oh, that's nice.
The Maserati engine and gearbox were admittedly sublime, but did nothing to make up for the hilariously disheveled interior. I was ready to get back into my much more civilized Mercedes. Luckily, it was time to pull over and learn what AutoTempest had in store for us next.
I gave it to you perfect. I hope you did not break my car.
When you say perfect, do you mean broken in almost every way?
Well, perhaps. How many things did you find wrong with it?
I found 7 things wrong, but 3 of them were pretty major. You have no power coming out of that V12. You have the AC, which is very necessary in 110 degree Las Vegas heat. And your trunk doesn't work, which is great for a Grand Tourer.
I suppose so, but how beautiful was it from the inside?
I mean, the people outside probably had a way better experience than I did. Tyler, how was my magnificent race car for the road? Was it a absolute automotive dream?
It was more like a Freddy Krueger level nightmare. I lost count how many things are wrong with it, so let's just say 100, and that's probably being generous
100?
because it's probably double or triple that, so 100.
There aren't 100 things in that car.
Well, there probably were, and they are no longer in the car. Ed, how was my CL?
Man, it was absolutely perfect. Air-conditioned massaging seats are what every daily driver should have.
The door doesn't open. That's a pretty big thing.
The one.
That's one thing?
One.
Yeah, in their wisdom, they gave you 2. That's,
Okay.
Yes.
God has fitted you with a spare.
That's right.
You don't even want to get out of it anyway.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's so comfortable,
Yeah.
but not a supercar by any stretch.
Here we go again.
Even with the misery involved, I cannot wait to get back in my Aston Martin. And so let's read the text from AutoTempest. As you know, AutoTempest can help you find the best deals on any kind of car by combining listings from all the top listing sites. What we cannot do is guarantee that you choose wisely. Just because a car is cheap doesn't mean that you got a good deal.
That's exactly what it means, actually.
You have made your way to Red Rock Canyon.
How do they know? It's like they have probably a secret mountain lair up there.
That's AutoTempest
in the
HQ,
mountains.
yeah, for
yes.
sure. Yeah.
Right there, the tip. Yes.
That's
Just
Hi,
the tip.
AutoTempest.
As you proceed along the road, you will meet a very qualified appraiser who will let you know if you actually got a good deal on these cars. Again, the values will be relative to their original MSRPs. Whoever gets closest wins.
Nice.
Okay, so my car is the cheapest, so that I won.
Nobody would even put a wholesale bid on that car. It is unsellable.
You, Ed, this may be the first time you ever lose money on a car.
Impossible.
It's undrivable. It's unusable as a car right
Have
now.
you been in that car?
Yes, that's where all the sweat came from.
Here, Freddie.
Oh, we're
take it. Yes.
Oh, we're doing that?
Yes.
You're back
Oh,
in there.
are you sure?
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you,
yes.
Ed.
Enjoy it.
All right.
You sure you don't want it for another 15 or 20 hours?
No.
Are you sure?
Let's go.
We were nearing the finish of this epic adventure. Whenever you set out with cars like this, they add a dimension to the journey you can never predict. Perfect cars get you places, and comedically imperfect cars make getting there a story. The laundry list of issues had made our lives miserable, but they are the very thing that made the trip truly an amazing experience. But now it was time to find out who got the best deal.
Excuse me.
Thank you. Watch the paint, dude.
So where is this appraiser expert gentleman?
Oh!
Oh!
John! gentlemen, this is John Ficarra, owner of Ficarra Classics, a classic car dealer, knower of all things automotive, the founder of the 2904, which is the Super Bowl of hoopty cars. Also was the historian at Canepa, the perfect guy to let us know how much better my car is than yours.
I see he's a man who likes to take care of business as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Good to see you, sir.
Good to see you guys.
So you're here to give us all an appraisal of our awesome cars, and no car is more awesome than mine. My 2003 Maserati Coupe GT Trofeo Tribute car.
Tribute car.
Yeah.
Did you go any farther than just putting some stripes on it?
Yes, we put yellow tinting on the front like a real race car.
Wow.
And it also has this amazing race-inspired carbon fiber roof.
Carbon fiber look.
Well, you know, that's like 90% of it. So, we'll just put a pin in that. So we also have a spoiler that has some active aero, meaning that when this car goes really fast, and it does go really fast, this deforms because it's not put together 100% correctly. But this has also been modified on the interior, which is sort of the piece de resistance. I mean, if you want to take a look inside.
It is a piece.
Just look around the car and see all the magnificence.
Let's take a look. Can you pop the hood for me?
Do we need to do that?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
It is supposedly a Ferrari V8, right? 4.2 liter, 390 horsepower.
Dry sump, correct, with a manual gearbox.
Oh, that's good.
Here she is.
There is powder on the motor.
Yes, it is.
Oh, that's not a certain kind of Las Vegas powder, is it?
There was a slight electrical fire.
Slight.
Yes, very, very small.
How do you define slight?
There was a lot of fire and I had to put it out, but I fixed it and now the car runs. So that's good, so let's close the hood.
John, you have done an excellent job holding back your vomit. I mean, commendable. But here, come look at this car now.
All right.
2005 Mercedes CL65 AMG. Very, very rare car.
Tremendously rare. They built 196 of these.
Yes.
And they were handmade and they're extraordinary. And I think only about 12 were painted this red.
Yes. Rarer than these two.
Absolutely. Beautiful in red.
Thank you.
You got a little issue with the rare red paint right there.
A hole.
A hole in the paint?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
That's not paint. In fact, in this 115 degree heat, your wrap is coming off.
You got me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was originally a gold, a beautiful pewter.
Beautiful.
Yes.
So
Yes.
somewhere underneath this.
Beige is beige, metallic beige.
It's in excellent condition. There's no
Nothing
problems
hidden underneath the wrap.
No, no.
Nothing.
It has
The camera.
service records,
Yeah.
clean history
Great.
report, everything a collector like you
Perfect.
would want. Yes.
Pop the hood.
No.
It's
Okay.
inconvenient.
Well,
Tyler.
okay, since we're being honest now, this door, this is all I have with the door. And the hood latch, a little hard to reach, but I'm being honest now. You can just take my word for everything. The engine under there is very sorted, very nice, very stock.
It's got the Dukes of Hazzard package, just sans the flag. But feast your eyes on my 2003 Aston Martin Vanquish. It had 3 loving North American owners, 4 owners total, and it is beautiful. It has the highly desirable paddle shift transmission that everyone says is terrific, and it's only got 27,000 miles.
It is beautiful. The Ian column design is timeless. The Ford underneath it, how are you enjoying that part of it?
Well, all the buttons are easy to read. They're all in English, which is handy, and it's really a wonderful car. Most of the things work. Most of the time, both halves of the motor participate in moving you about.
So both of those Ford V6s put together, one of them works independently of the other occasionally?
They're kind of like Siamese twins with a bit of a disagreement.
I see. And not a wrap.
Why would you hide such perfection with a wrap? So John, why don't you take a look around, come up with some figures. We will enjoy this beautiful vista, and you can get back to us with the numbers. Mine will be the highest, yes.
All right. I was looking for some well-maintained Maserati mechanic work, but all I'm seeing is backwoods Louisiana. This would make any Italian cry. I'm Italian. I might start crying. Ooh, Remus exhaust. really nice. Oh, that's right. Show me twin turbo V12. Handmade by one person deep in the heart of Germany. Too bad the original wheels aren't on it. This will be a classic car someday. Really? Is there a dead hooker in the trunk? They know how to build a beautiful car. Not a reliable car, but a beautiful car.
With John the Appraiser now intimately familiar with the shortcomings of our cars, it was time to find out which one of us had lost the most money.
Are you seeing faces in the rocks too? Like that one up there, it looks like Mr. Potato Head.
What do you think weighs more, this rock formation or Tyler's car?
Coin toss.
Are you ready?
Oh,
Oh no.
hi.
Okay. Guys, get ready, okay? All right?
Your moment in the sun.
The Maserati has arrived.
All right, I'll give you an appraisal. We'll start with the Aston Martin. You have the most beautiful car Ford ever made. It's usually worth between 50 and 70, and they're continuing to fall. So yours fell to 44,750.
Ho ho ho!
Half the engine doesn't work.
It can be fixed.
He bought this for $29,000. So you're saying that he's going to make $15,000 on his Aston Martin after he's pretty much destroyed it over
He's
the
never
last
going to make
CarTrek?
it because he's going to put that money back into it to keep it running.
That's
not fair.
I could do it.
Speaking of putting a lot of money into a car, let's talk about yours. You took an extremely rare handcrafted Mercedes.
Thank you.
Which you decided to put into a giant red condom.
Ooh, the red rocket, you could say.
So,
Yes.
those cars usually sell between $13,000 and $18,000, which always still shocks me.
Yes.
But
low.
your feature of not being able to get into the driver's side, I'm gonna have to knock like $1,000 off the bottom end. So I'm gonna say $12,000.
Okay. I bought it for $13,000, so I'm only losing $1,000.
That's almost making money for you.
That's probably a personal best. That might be the least you ever lost on a car,
Absolutely.
Tyler.
I'll take it.
There we go.
Take it.
All right, and now.
Your car
Yeah.
makes me sick.
What?
It's appalling. It's everything an Italian car should be, and then the opposite of that. It has mileage on it I don't understand. It's probably on its third engine. It probably has the hantavirus all over it. I really would have recommended you letting it burn to the ground.
That's not fair.
That being said, usually these sell between 15 to 30. I'm gonna say your car is worth, and this is generous for an operating parts car that it is, $5,000.
$5 grand?
Mm-hmm.
You bought it for $9,000, yes?
So I lose $4,000. Yes. That $5,000, by chance, is that an actual offer?
From me?
Yes, from you.
Seeing my last name ends in a vowel? Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, if this car makes it back to the house, you have to take it.
It has to make it back to my house in California. Otherwise, I'll let it burn in the desert, and it's all on you.
Done. Let's do it.
So I guess your last drive, Freddy.
It's my last drive, apparently with a functional parts car, but I think I'm gonna enjoy it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
All right. God be with you.
Now that the hard part was over, all we had left to do was enjoy our cars. Strangely and unexpectedly, the cars seemed to notice that too. They straightened up, ran right, and were just begging us to stretch their legs on one of the most spectacular drives any of us had ever driven.
In 2003, when they built this car, I was a junior in high school, and if you had come to me and said that at any point in the future I was going to get to be doing something like this in a car like this, I would have told you you were a genie, asked you for a better Spanish teacher, and probably something to do with the homecoming queen, who I later married. But just because we've learned now that there are some better technologies doesn't mean it isn't awesome. If this car were a stick, it'd be worth what a DBS is, or a 550 Maranello, 125, 150,000 bucks. If it was just a little bit more reliable or had a slightly better gearbox, it would be 90 or 100 grand like a 575M from Ferrari. But no, I got the thing for 29,000 bucks. And even if you had to pay 40, 50, whatever the thing's really worth today, it is the greatest deal in the supercar world. I set out to decide if the devaluing characteristics of the transmission and the unreliability were too much to overcome, if it just wasn't worth owning. This car is worth owning, it is worth driving, it is an absolute blast. I might be too hot, the car might not be perfect, but it is perfect to me. Sure, the Maserati's a little bit more lively and it's a real stick. Sure, the CL is infinitely more comfortable and I wouldn't be sweating like this, but they are not having the fun that I am. They are not in a car this special. I absolutely brought the right car.
Well, I think John the Appraiser agreed with me 100% that these cars are very undervalued. For only $13,000 or $12,000, what he thought, you can buy a car like this, $180,000 new, 600 horsepower, an amazing Grand Tour, and one of the most beautiful coupes of all time. Obviously, the Mercedes was not going to attract the most attention, but under the skin, it does have the heart of a supercar. No matter what Ed and Freddy say, this is every bit of an exotic supercar as theirs. It's the rarest, it's the fastest, and arguably, it's equally as good looking. Well, it's definitely in between the two. I'm feeling pretty good about my chances of winning this thing, but even if I do have to sell it, I lose only $1,000 to have a car like this thrash it all over Las Vegas. Other than the door, we did have that one moment of fail at the track where the check engine light came on and I had no power, but it's completely recovered. It's healed itself. I love it. How often does a car just fix itself? Really? We all know who's losing this challenge, and even the man himself knows that he lost. This is his farewell tour in the canyons here.
So we've been through a lot. I've been through a lot with this car. And to be honest with you, I couldn't be happier. So I do know, there we go, that's a gear, that this is not a peach example of a Maserati. This isn't even a passable example. This car has lots and lots of issues. But another thing it has is a lot of heart. Everyone at one point or another needs to get their hands on a Maserati, because being this close to Ferrari while paying Camry money, you just can't get any better. So Ed and Tyler, with an Aston Martin and an AMG, they have safe picks. The Maserati, however, is always going to be the wild card, because while they're trying to get married and have kids and get a retirement, this is a hot summer fling. It's not going to last forever. We enjoy every second. And that is, of course, the Maserati way. This day with this car is absolutely spectacular. I don't think there could be a better final drive with better friends, honestly. For all our differences, this is what we live to do. This road, these cars, and this view. I could do this forever. If only Ed would get out of my way.
Each of us and our cars were finally breathing deeply. We had made it, but it was time to make sure we were all on the same page that my CL was clearly the best supercar of the trek.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's about as good as it gets, gentlemen. She was running perfect.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, for sure.
Well, if you only pay 10% of what the car's worth, it only needs to work 20% of the time to be a great deal.
That's that logic makes sort of sense. Yeah.
So who won?
Well, obviously you won by their approximations, because I just won rental challenge. Look at him.
You look like a bit of a tourist.
Man on the street. If you were to pick to drive one home today, which one would it be?
I would take the Aston.
Probably the Aston Martin.
That one?
The Aston Martin, absolutely. And this appraisal, obviously.
Yes.
And you won.
The racetrack challenge for the race car. Of course.
Gotta upset the car a little bit.
And you won.
Initial purchase price. This is only 7% of its original MSRP. So this, percentage-wise, most appreciated. Build quality?
I don't think there's really a whole lot wrong on the bottom. Nothing drastic anyway.
No. Unusual for me, right?
It is. It's very odd.
What else did I win?
All the non-supercar things. You won all of it. You just swept it.
No, there was supercar things because there's drifting. There we go! Yes! Yes!
All right. One
that's best
supercar
build
thing and all the other daily driver grandma car things.
So you all lost. You both have to list your cars for sale. Or Freddie, you sold your car, so have you had $4,000 your loss worth of fun?
I had $40,000 worth of fun. I can't put a price on what I just experienced.
That's awesome. So Ed, is this the most fun you've ever had making $15,000?
I'd like to say yes, but no, it was a ton of fun. Absolutely. And I love this car. It needs a few things, certainly an AC recharge before too terribly long.
Just small things.
But I absolutely love it. I think you have a very unattractive ad to look forward to on AutoTempest for this Aston Martin Vanquish.
Well, I guess we're all winners, really. There's only one loser in this CarTrek, and that is the M6. It has zero redeeming qualities whatsoever. It is the worst supercar ever made.
I'm glad it's dead, yeah.
Also not a supercar. But we made it. The car survived. Let's enjoy it. So check out our cars on AutoTempest, and we'll see you next time.
Very well-traveled car, recently inspected by a local canine unit. The car looks fast sitting still. When moving, not so much. Gets better fuel economy than any other Vanquish on the road due to cylinder deactivation. One of a kind. One was driven by James Bond, all the others were driven by people wanting to be James Bond. Offered at a recent appraised value, ideal for anyone aged 30 to 35, even better if you've never driven anything newer than this car. Comes with whatever's already in the trunk, crowd approved, hot weather tested, safe to drive on any track. Certainly the best supercar value on earth. Post.